Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth, and today we're joined by Brody, Randall, Cal, Chili, Reva, Tressa, and Nate. This is a 10-round quiz show with questions from MeatEater's 4 verticals, which are hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking. And there is a prize. MeatEater will donate $500 to the conservation organization of the winner's choosing. And for the stat of the week this week, we're looking at the average winning score and if it's changed over time. Some folks ask if the show has gotten easier or harder, so this stat might answer that. For the first 60 games of MeatEater Trivia, the average winning score was 7.32. And over the last 60 games of MeatEater Trivia, the average winning score is 7.62. That's a 0.3 correct answer increase, which is about a 5% raise. So I would say it has not gotten harder or easier. What's going on with these glasses over here, Randall?
Well, before the game, Chili said he had to go out to his truck to get his glasses so that he looked smarter.
Okay.
So I had these glasses that I found, and I thought I'd get these too.
But mine are actually prescription.
It
might be backfiring on you, buddy.
Do you think he looks smarter?
I don't know. They make me really dizzy when I look through the top, but through the bottom, they're not bad.
They make you look older. I don't know about smarter, though.
I think they make me look uncannily like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I can see that. So for the stat, again, a 5%
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that.
raise. Well, I interrupted it because I was jarred when I looked up. You weren't wearing those 5 minutes ago.
No.
Little treat for the YouTube audience. You can see Jeffrey Dahmer
Tune in on
playing
YouTube.
Trivia.
MeatEater Podcast Network YouTube channel.
Now here's our infrequently asked questions segment. If you have a trivia-related question for our crew, send it to trivia@themeateater.com with the subject line IFAQ. Josh Dowsey wants to know, how many user-submitted questions do you get each week? I looked back through the inbox and did the math, and we get about 110 questions submitted each week. I use 4 or 5 of those in each show, and then I use another 4 or 5 for the board game and expansion packs that don't make it into the show. So your chances of having a question used on the show or in the board game are about 9%.
You use 4 or 5 every show?
Usually 4 is the number that I use from listeners, and then I do 6 of my
I thought
own.
there's just 1.
Well, there's one listener question of the week, but then we have other questions that make the cut that don't win the board game signed by the crew. So when you email in a question, you've got about a 10% chance of having that question used somewhere and getting that credit. Now, for the housekeeping this week, I want to circle back. What's up?
It's almost time.
Okay. Now I see it. We now, Jeffrey Dahmer has actually entered the room.
I was going to say Ted Kaczynski.
Ted Kaczynski. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
That's
good
right,
Montana
Ted Kaczynski.
trivia. Come on.
Yeah. Very good. Pass the glasses to Nate now and see what he looks like. Just keep going around the room.
I'm going to guess. Napoleon Dynamite.
Sure. Yeah, I see that as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
those
The Brotherhood of the Traveling Glasses. For housekeeping this week, I want to circle back to the board game offerings from MeatEater Trivia this year. A few weeks ago, I told you about our hunting and fishing expansion packs and how there's a third product coming this fall. So today, I'm thrilled to announce the MeatEater Trivia Board Game Collector's Edition. I'm holding it in my hand right here, so you should go to YouTube so you can see
That's sexy.
Ted Kaczynski and Jeffrey Dahmer and the MeatEater Trivia Collector's Edition. The Collector's Edition is jam-packed with new items. You'll get the entire OG board game, plus both expansion packs and 100 additional questions that are only available in the Collector's Edition for a grand total of 1,300 questions. The game also comes with a physical board game for scorekeeping, which Tressa is holding up over here. Game tokens that we've scattered around the room, and those are bigger than 50-cent pieces, and an additional whiteboard and marker. And for my favorite part, the whole thing comes in a custom-built MeatEater Trivia ammo can that you can see again right on YouTube. Now, this was a prototype, Brody. I noticed you opening it. It will open differently, like a traditional ammo can.
I think
the next one,
you got to
that's
get
right.
a little seal in there like the real ones.
I see that one's got a little damp too. Is that?
Well, it's been traveling around the office, so yeah, you could give her a good dent if you're not careful. I maybe wouldn't plan on storing ammo in here that you're floating down a river with, but you could store ammo in there that sits in your sits in your gun safe, or you keep the MeatEater Trivia Collector's Edition in there.
I thought
Could
it was
be a
going to
good
come
lunchbox for
pre-dented,
you.
like
Pre-dented, that's right.
The jeans you buy with the holes already
That's
in it.
right. Well, it does come with like messy spray paint on there. So yeah, maybe the dent was not organic, came from the factory like that. The MeatEater Trivia Collector's Edition, MeatEater Trivia Hunting Expansion Pack, and MeatEater Trivia Fishing Expansion Pack will be available soon.
Nicely done, Spencer. Nicely done.
I love these tokens. When we were designing them, I said, make them bigger than 50-cent pieces. And somebody should have told me no. They didn't. They just actually executed them that way. And now they are enormous. These are the biggest game pieces you'll find anywhere on the market. Coming very soon, coming this fall. Now, the Shelby Index for today is a 5. So I'm putting us on perfect score alert. And with that, we're on to the game of trivia. Play the drop, Phil.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
Game on, suckers!
Question 1. The topic is public lands, and this first great question is via Eric Jennings, and as always, it will be multiple choice. Which state contains the most miles of the Appalachian Trail? Is it Virginia, New York, Georgia, or New Hampshire? Randall with a very quick answer. It's almost as though he didn't even need the multiple choice question and choices.
I benefited
Okay.
indeed from the choices.
Virginia, New York, Georgia, New Hampshire. Which state contains the most miles of the Appalachian Trail? Nate, you know this one?
I've got it down to 2.
Okay.
Anybody through hiked the Appalachian Trail here?
No, I've had a job.
Just thought we could really uncover something interesting.
Through hikers are strange people,
Oh yeah,
right? It's like
the nicknames.
they don't get to just sit there and enjoy nature.
Yeah,
They're going through.
I'm glad they exist, though. I like those
No,
folks.
they're I've bumped into quite a few in the bob.
Does everybody have an answer for which state contains the most miles of the Appalachian Trail? Virginia, New York, Georgia, New Hampshire. Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili saying Virginia. Tressa says Virginia. Reva, Virginia. Randall, New York. Cal, New York. Nate, New York. Brody, New York. One of the two groups in the room is right. It is either New York or Virginia.
Probably not.
The correct answer is Virginia. Chili, Tressa, and Reva got that one right. The Appalachian Trail passes through 14 states. There are 550 miles of trail in Virginia, which is nearly double that of second place Tennessee with 293 miles of trail. That's followed by Maine at 281 miles, Pennsylvania at 229 miles, New Hampshire at 161 miles, and Vermont at 150 miles. West Virginia has the least amount of trail with just 4 miles. Question 2, the topic is hunting. This dog, which is Mickey Mouse's pet, has hunted moose and quail in Disney cartoons. This dog, which is Mickey Mouse's pet, has hunted moose and quail in Disney cartoons. Randall, Nate, and Cal appear to know this one. Reva, Tressa, and Chili not as confident.
I think I do.
I thought I knew
that's
the
my
last one.
best Mickey Mouse.
Watched a lot of Mickey Mouse when my boys were little.
You did. Okay.
Was
You
it
think-
Mickey Mouse on South Park? I mean, that's the best.
Uh-huh.
Was that the Jonas Brothers episode?
Oh,
Yes.
God. That was fantastic.
Well,
And the Star Wars episode as well?
And
Or is it the same?
the Imagination Land 3-part feature.
Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, boy.
The copyright is now expired on the OG Mickey Mouse, and it's about to expire on some other characters as well.
Is this like a name or a type of animal, type of dog?
We're looking for a name, proper noun here. This dog, which is Mickey Mouse's pet, has hunted moose and quail in Disney cartoons.
canine.
I bet you not recent cartoons, though.
We'll talk about it in the follow-up factoid. Waiting on Tressa and Chili. Are you two going to come up with an answer?
I didn't even know he had a dog. So
Imagination.
Oh, we could clear out for 2 minutes and let you sing that, Randall, if you'd like.
Oh,
Are we ready?
Yep.
Go ahead and reveal your answers.
no.
We have Chili and Tressa without an
He said
answer.
Pluto.
Reva says
own Goofy.
Doug. Randall says Goofy, to which Nate said he does not own Goofy. Cal says Pluto. Nate says Pluto. Brody says Goofy.
oh,
The correct answer
that's what I was thinking.
is Pluto.
Damn it!
Didn't
Cal
watch enough Mickey Mouse.
And Nate got that one right. And that's correct. He does not own Goofy. And Goofy
That
is
was
also
deep in
not
the
technically a
reservoir.
dog. He's just identified as a canine.
what's
you
the
look up-
distinction?
Well, if you look up, I think some people think he's a cow and some people think he's a dog. But if you look up what he actually is, it just says canine. Whereas Pluto, it says Pluto is a dog.
Huh.
Pluto's first ever appearance is in a 1931 7-minute video where he and Mickey are moose hunting. His next hunt would come 8 years later in a video called The Pointer, where Mickey tries to teach Pluto how to flush game. In that video, Mickey promises Pluto that if they're successful, Mickey will cook, quote, quail on toast and maybe a nice big juicy bear steak. The early versions of Pluto had him drawn as a bloodhound, but was later changed to a generic mixed breed dog.
Sobering beginning to our contest here.
Yeah, we thought
So
there
much
may
for
be
that perfect game.
maybe a
alert.
perfect game in the room, and we have Randall and Brody 0 for 2. Question 3. The topic is cooking, and this next great question is via Allie Spangler. The Spruce Eats defines this culinary word as, quote, melting and clarifying hard animal fat for cooking purposes. The Spruce Eats defines this culinary word as melting and clarifying hard animal fat for cooking purposes. Phil, do your kids enjoy Mickey Mouse?
Not really. They never really got into the whole Mickey Mouse thing, but Disney has had some some modern Mickey Mouse cartoons that are incredibly.
Funhouse, right?
No, that's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. That's kind of that's a
Clubhouse.
toddler show, but there's a more recent animated short sort of series that are really clever and honest, hilarious. And there is a more recent Christmas special with Pluto that I think was done in the 80s. Where he really wants to eat Chip and Dale, and he trees.
That's great.
he trees them at one point, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's hunting.
Yeah.
But it's hunting
Sure,
related. You know.
There's some dark conspiracies around, like Pluto behaves like a dog and doesn't talk, right? But Goofy is a canine who does talk and
Has some semblance of
participates in
intelligence.
society. Yes, Goofy has a soul, but Pluto does not. And what happened there between the two of them? Again, we're on question 3. The Spruce Eats defines this culinary word as melting and clarifying hard animal fat for cooking purposes. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili and Tressa and Reva. The entire room said render or rendering, and they got it. Correct answer is render or rendering.
Thanks, Clay.
You can render the fat of basically any game animal from turkey to deer to duck. During the rendering process, you remove any water or debris from the fat via cooking and straining. To learn the steps of rendering, read Danielle Pruitt's article on the MeatEater.com called What to Do with Wild Game Fat. Question 4, the topic is conservation. Name one of Texas's 2 national parks. This is question 4. Name one of Texas's 2 national parks. Brody and Randall appear confident. The rest of the room has not come up with an answer yet. Could you do both of them if you had to, Brody?
I'm not sure about the second one.
Okay, how about you, Randall?
I don't want to talk more about
Do you know both?
I feel very confident about one, less confident about the other.
Name one of Texas's 2 national parks.
Shoot.
The room is fairly stumped. We're going to have a pretty even game. after question 5, but this is question 4. Name one of Texas's 2 national parks.
You ever see Randy Marsh and Mickey and the Wuhan Bat?
Of course, yes.
I mean, if your kids don't like original Mickey, I'd point them to that.
Park Mickey.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Mickey also lacks a soul. On,
I would say for sure.
He's got dead eyes.
Yeah.
Still enjoy Nate's correction of Randall that Goofy is not owned by Mickey.
I mean, I like to learn something every day I come in here. So
I'd like to watch the show, though, thinking of that dynamic.
Yeah,
as, Goofy being the pet dog of Mickey. Name one of Texas's 2 national parks. Folks are struggling to come up with an answer. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chile without an answer. Tressa says Petrified Forest, which is in Arizona and a national park. Reva without an answer. Randall says Big Bend. Cal says, what's that say, Great Bend?
I wrote Big Bend, but
Where?
then I was like,
What else did you
maybe
write?
it's Great Bend, and I couldn't remember.
Okay,
so I
he
wrote
says
Great over the
Great
top of
Bend.
Big.
Nate says Sam Houston. Brody says Big Bend. The correct answer is Big Bend, or what would be your second guess, Brody?
Great Bend.
I think it's not a national park, but I was going to say Padre Island.
And
But I think it's
Randall, what
national.
do you think the second one is?
Yeah, Padre Island's
a
national
national
seashore.
seashore, yeah.
I don't know. It's escaping me
Big
now.
Bend and Guadalupe
Guadalupe.
Mountains.
That was an answer on here at one point, wasn't it?
I'm sure we've referenced it before, but I don't think it's been an answer. Both national parks are located in West Texas and are known for their mountains. Guadalupe Mountains contains the highest point in Texas at 8,751 feet in elevation, and Big Bend is the only national park in America that contains an entire mountain range. Question 5. The topic is biology.
And Big Bend's a big clock.
There you go.
We know that.
What happened with Cal's
question.
answer on that one?
I got it
Don't
wrong.
think he gets that one right. Great
Just
Big
curious.
Bend,
Yeah.
Great Bend. Were you
I was
gonna?
hoping to start some shit.
I've sat there and stared into the park.
It's hunting season, so Cal's feeling less fiery today.
Yeah.
He just wants to get out.
Question 5. The topic
But somebody
is
had to do
biology.
trivia at noon on a Friday.
It's hard to schedule this time of year because half the company is in Venice, Louisiana next week, so we had to fit this one in while we could. Question 5. Topic is biology, and this next great question is via Christy Holmes. This 9-letter word is defined as, quote, the hardened outer protective layer of a pupa of a butterfly. This 9-letter word is defined as the hardened outer protective layer of a pupa of a butterfly. Brody has his answer complete. The rest of the room is making their hangman dashes. Nate, you have this one right? Full-time Nate over here. Nate, you are, I think, probably the first MeatEater intern to turn full-time employee. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but I think we've only had like 5 interns ever, so there haven't been much competition, but the first intern turned full-time employee.
And soon to be trivia champion.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
right. Nate has put up some good performances lately. This 9-letter word is defined as the hardened outer protective layer of a pupa,
What do you got today? 1?
a butterfly.
I'm at like 4, 3. I'm tied for first right now.
Phil put up 2 fingers in the back.
Well, I don't-
This one's.
Okay.
I kind of want to pipe in here. I know we normally do the score checkup after question 5. Everyone's tied for first. Everyone in the room has 2 points right now.
Okay.
No way.
Some folks may be separated here on question 5.
This is killing me. I know this.
The hardened outer protective layer of a pupa of a butterfly. Nate and Brody are the only 2 with any confidence. Randall, is it there? Is it on the tip of your tongue?
I feel like I know the noises.
Okay. Sure.
So I'm trying to come up with a word that I'm trying to just go through the syllables in my head. I'm going to go with this. I don't think it's a word.
Oh,
Chili, Tressa, Reva, are you going to come up with an answer?
I got
Okay. Do you have a right answer, Reva?
I mean, maybe.
Okay. Cal, do you give up?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sometimes it's better to
and
know when to walk
reveal
away.
your answers. We have Chili without an answer. Tressa says cocoon. Reva says cacophony. Randall says chrysalis. Cal says
Sarcophagus.
sarcophagus. Nate says chrysalis, and Brody says chrysalis.
Buddy, we got a controversy.
Keep your answer up,
There's
Randall.
no
Keep your
controversy.
answer up. The correct answer is chrysalis, which I don't know, but I don't think so. The
Boy,
T-
that's real darn close for a hardened outer protective layer
here,
of a pupa of a
I
butterfly.
will spell it for you, and you tell me how many letters you have right. CHRYSALIS.
I have heard you tell contestants
agree.
on this show upwards of dozens
That
of
ain't
times that
right.
spelling does not count.
But when you're not in
Randall, what you wrote down is the name of a young lady who's lost her way and dances for money.
I would say if you only have 50% of the right letters, that's
I have
not
all of the syllables just with a T in the middle.
Which I think
I'll let it slide.
Nice work.
Phil chimed in pretty quick with a no.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
So
Suck it, Randall.
I'm gonna go with Phil on this one.
Phil, why did you jump in so quick?
I mean, you add a T and you're throwing in a consonant. It changes the game completely.
Chrysalis. Chrysalis.
That's not simply
Christ-
not simply a
Christalis.
misspelling. That's a
Phil, I
different
was
word.
going to start
It's like-
griping about how filthy your table is, but now I'm not because you did the right thing.
It's like that scene in Get Smart when he's trying to say the dude's name. Not even close.
We're not gonna give Randall
It's
the
French
point on that
spelling.
one.
It's
All right.
silent.
The answer was
I think that's about as damn close as you can get. The
Chrysalis.
not even
But you-
close does not apply.
the,
because
the
that's a
T.
new-
The T was a large problem.
Yeah,
The T,
if you had put a K instead of a C, that'd be different. But
I was moving things around a lot because initially I spelled it with a CHR, and then I had 11 letters at first, and so I just started cutting letters.
wow. Phil, give us a
I'll
scoreboard
allow
update.
it. I'll allow it.
oh, that's kind of you, Randall.
In my chair of power.
Let's see. We've got Chili, Tressa, Reva, Randall, and Cal, all with 2 points.
This is a crazy game.
Nate and Brody, just 1 point more than them. They've got 3. They're tied up in first place.
Anybody's game.
Not gonna have a perfect game, but we will have a good game.
This is our one shot.
Question 6. The topic is fishing.
Oh boy.
This fishing gear subscription company has shipped 11 million boxes since its creation in 2012. Chili, quickest to answer for question 6. This fishing gear subscription company has shipped 11 million boxes since its creation in 2012.
God, I see ads for this stupid thing all the time.
I've been
Just
given
scroll
one of
too
these.
fast.
I thought the whole box subscription thing kind of didn't exist anymore.
I think it hit its climax during COVID and is coming down ever since then.
I still get emails.
If it's the box I'm thinking of, there's some interesting information I found out over the weekend about it.
Oh, okay.
Is
What's
it
it named?
privileged? Yeah.
Was that an interesting bit of information?
I can tell you, but we're tied right now.
This fishing gear subscription company has shipped 11 million boxes since its creation in 2012. Tressa, do you have this one right?
I know it is a fishing gear subscription.
Okay.
But it might not be the one you're saying.
I gave one of these to my nephew and was, I drop stuff off and then don't ever
Yep.
ask about it again. But I was pretty excited to see, what he would get
Yep.
and how excited he would be. Lost the entire box.
Oh, like fishing or just like wound up in the
Just
the
like,
garbage?
who knows?
Okay, yeah.
Who knows?
I think these exist to be given to nephews.
Yeah, I never
Primarily.
understood the subscription box thing because it's like it's for people who want to spend money but don't know what they want to spend their money on.
Well, I think the other value is like, say it's a $10 subscription, they guarantee $50 in gear
Oh,
or
well, I
something.
see
like
that.
So, yeah.
I stand corrected. Gosh, that does sound like a good deal.
How we doing over there, Brody?
Is everybody ready?
Nothing.
Yeah, you're looking flustered.
I love when someone who never wins. Like,
ooh. That's the only angle I have.
Okay. Yeah, you need to earn the right to heckle Brody, okay? That's what he's saying.
Nate, do you have
Door's
this
not
one
open
right?
to everyone.
No. Okay.
This gets given in our white elephant every year. The same box.
So Nate and Brody are not confident this is going to make it a tighter game.
Like, confident isn't even part of the.
I'm pretty sure box is in the name.
Just don't add a T. Don't add a T, boys.
All right, do we give up yet?
Crystal.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili saying Rapala. Tressa says Yakota. Reva says Anglers Anonymous. Randall says Flybox. Cal says Mystery Tackle Box. Nate says Angler Box. Brody says Lure Box.
Wow.
We have a correct answer in the room. It's Mystery Tackle Box. Cal got that one right.
Wow.
Yep.
A Mystery Tackle Box subscription ranges from $20 a month to $40 a month with pursuit-specific boxes for bass, panfish, trout, walleye, and saltwater. Field and Stream declared the box is the best way to test out new baits. Question 7.
How you feeling now, buddy?
Brody
Struck a nerve with
reminded
Brody over
Chili
there.
that he got that one wrong with Rapala. And what would you like to share about Rapala that you learned?
Well,
over the
I don't
week?
know.
I don't. Yeah.
It's the guy that works with us, or not works with us. He's done some stuff for us. Casey Underwood. I don't know if this is. I don't know if
saw
this.
this.
I don't know if this is factual. I don't know if like this is actual like legit. But Casey is known for making stickers and drawings of fish, birds,
Really
dogs,
great
whatever.
art.
Very great art.
Local to Montana.
Awesome public land creator coffee mug that he's doing with Pheasants Quail Forever.
Yes, he does. He just. I think they just dropped it not too long ago. But anyways, I think he was walking around and Rapala had a box, a fishing box, and it was for smallmouth and largemouth bass, and they used his sticker.
Yeah, they have his art.
Have his art on their box, and Casey went on his Instagram, posted about it, and he said, Rapala, like, what the hell, or some shit.
Yeah, one of the biggest
Did he
fishing
get paid?
companies in the world.
I don't think so. I texted him to do something, and he goes, yeah, I should.
This has all happened in like the last 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The story, there's more to be told.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Question 7, the topic is conservation. This is our listener question of the week, which was won by Terry DuPont for sending this great question. Terry is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win the listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. This author has written 25 novels about the fictional game warden, Joe Pickett. Randall has this one right. Nate and Cal.
I knew I just had to put the glasses back on.
Randall has reclaimed the glasses, and just like that,
I had to change the energy in the room.
The topic is conservation. On question 7, this author has written 25 novels about the fictional game warden, Joe Pickett. Have you read any of these books, Randall?
We had him on the podcast.
Oh, there's a little hint Brody, that had yet to be said.
And I can't remember his name.
Buddy of mine just got checked by a Wyoming game warden. They'd put this big long stock on a bull, way in the wilderness, and shot the bull. It's his cousin's first 6-point ever. He's super excited. He's like, "Hey, validate your tag." And he stopped and did that. And he's like, yeah, like 20 minutes later, here comes this lone dude hiking up to us. And just had very favorable things to say about the game warden. He was like, guy obviously loved his job. He was super respectful of our hunt. He sat there. We had no idea he was there, watched the whole deal, stayed way out of the way, waited until everything was over, and then he came up and said hi, and he had tied his horse up a long way away and hiked a long way to get in there and stuff, and so it was a good deal.
I've never read one of the books about the fictional game warden Joe Pickett, but he's never in an ordinary situation like that. He's always dealing with an oil tycoon or a serial poacher who shot the world record moose.
Well, if you ever get a hankering to read one of the books, it doesn't take long.
Yeah. Randall, have you read
them
any
real
of them?
fast?
I read I think I just read a few excerpts. I checked a few books out from the library in preparation for the podcast just to get a good feel for it.
Brody, have you come up with an answer?
No,
Delightful
can't
man.
remember his name.
I can't.
My apologies.
I can't see. I can't
another
say
hint. Another hint.
anything else. I mean, he was a wonderful man. I really enjoyed that morning.
Brody has now gendered him as well, said he's a man and he was on the MeatEater podcast, but he still can't come up with an answer.
It's not going to happen.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili without an answer, and Reva without an answer. Tressa says John Grisham.
Nice.
Randall says CJ Box. Cal, CJ Box. Nate, CJ Box. Brody,
Did you spell
TJ.
box
I
right?
couldn't get
I
past the
said
initials.
don't add a T.
I knew it was initials. That's as far as I could get.
The correct answer is CJ Box. Box describes the Wyoming game warden Joe Pickett as, quote, an everyman hero with a penchant for stepping into trouble. A TV series about Pickett was created by Paramount in 2021, but was canceled after 2 seasons. For more on the book series, listen to episode 525 of the MeatEater podcast, where CJ Box was a guest. Question 8, the topic is cooking. Southern Living magazine describes this baked dish as a pan of ground meat and vegetables that's covered with a layer of mashed potatoes. Southern Living magazine describes this baked dish as a pan of ground meat and vegetables that's covered with a layer of mashed potatoes. Brody?
And then you had to turn the page for the
Stumped.
gravy recipe because it's Southern Living.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I think every edition of their magazine probably has to come with a gravy recipe.
And grits.
The room looks confident except for Brody and Reva. Southern Living magazine describes this baked dish as a pan of ground meat and vegetables that's covered with a layer of mashed potatoes.
This definitely exists in Iowa.
Yeah, I know.
Chili,
I've made it like within the last year.
I was going to return your wink, but in these glasses, I thought I might just pass out. My optical
Iowa
nerves
has,
are overloaded at the moment.
Iowa has the caucus casserole that they make because they always get to be the first state that votes in the caucus.
I feel like if you were to,
What's in the caucus casserole?
I think it's like more of a fictional dish than a real dish. It's kind of whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, you're
but
just
they-
making a casserole. Hot dish.
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like if you were to change or just the way you describe the potatoes in this question, you could have a completely different dish.
Sure,
Depending-
but that's
depending
why
on
we
what-
say it's
Well, I
covered
know.
in a layer of mashed
I know.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili and Tressa saying shepherd's pie. Reva without an answer. Randall and Cal and Nate saying shepherd's pie. Brody without an answer. The correct answer is shepherd's pie or cottage pie. It's believed that this dish was created in Ireland or England as a way to repackage leftovers from a Sunday roast. Danielle Pruitt has a venison shepherd's pie recipe in her new cookbook, Wild and Whole, which is out right now. She says that dish from page 78 of the book is one of her favorite meals for a cold day. And we actually had a little snafu today. Phil came in and he says, I'm about to eat lunch, but just so you know, I brought a shepherd's pie in today. And Phil did not know that this question existed.
That was the non-hot dog you were smelling.
Brody declared that the studio smelled like hot dogs. when
And
he walked in.
Phil covered his tracks by claiming it was goulash of
I
some
said
sort.
I was trying to throw off. I didn't even
Layers.
I didn't want Phil to have the opportunity to say shepherd's pie. So I,
I
said
thought that
he
was odd that you just pulled goulash out, and it caught my ear.
I panicked.
This is like one of 2 things my dad could make. So growing up,
Was it good?
But see, he would call it hamburger gravy because it was shepherd's pie inverted. So yeah,
I like it.
instant mashed potatoes,
Oh wow.
frozen
okay.
veggies.
So was it good
Hamburger.
though?
Oh, I ate a ton of it. I'd eat it right now.
Left leg is made out of it. Phil,
Yeah.
we have 2 questions left. Give us a scoreboard update.
Reva is the only person who is not
jeez.
in the game anymore, but we've got Chili, Tressa, and Brody with 3 points. Randall Williams has 4. Now, Tied up for first place are Ryan Callaghan and Nate the Not Intern. They've got 5
Nate
points.
kind of called it.
Question 9.
Reva, did you think you'd be taken out by shepherd's pie?
No.
That was the way you're going down today? Yep.
The topic is hunting. Winchester debuted this round in 2019, calling it, quote, the fastest straight-walled hunting cartridge in the world. Randall with an answer before I even finished the question. This is number 9. The topic is hunting. Winchester debuted this round in 2019, calling it the fastest straight-walled hunting cartridge in the world.
I was at SHOT Show and shot this thing during range day in 2019.
Okay. Do you remember what it is?
Not at all.
Randall, do you own one of these, or is that going to be too much of a hint if you
I do
say
not.
yay or nay?
I do not.
Okay.
I've moved on from my straight wall days. Headed west, became a bottleneck man.
Okay. But when
Story as old as time.
When we talked about where we'd want to own a hunting property, did you not pick a straight-walled state? Or no?
I did. I did. Kentucky.
Okay. Well, they also allow center fires there.
Yeah, actually, I guess Kentucky isn't a straight wall state. I just killed deer with a straight wall there. But Indiana is a straight wall state. Ohio became a straight wall state after I left. When I was there, it was all slugs and muzzle loaders.
Yeah.
I wrote down the straight wall cartridge that this came out to beat because it's the only straight wall cartridge I can remember.
Yeah. I'm fixing to maybe hunt Illinois or Iowa here
Oh,
soon,
yeah.
so then I have an excuse to get a straight walled cartridge.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
you just bring your shotgun out there.
Yeah, I could, or I could just get a new gun.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Again.
a good excuse to get a 45-70.
Winchester debuted this round in 2019, calling it the fastest straight-walled hunting cartridge in the world. Brody, how do you feel about your answer?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. Is everybody ready? Nate, how do you feel about your answer?
I think I'm one character off.
Okay, we have also
It's not a T.
Also in the running for
Use
this
that joke all
episode,
day.
Shelby could win this one. She'd be tied up in the lead with
Now,
5.
can I ask a question? Are you
What do you
looking
got?
for? How do I ask?
It's a proprietary cartridge. It's very straightforward.
I'm not talking to you. Ray.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I'm talking to him.
Like the answer is not 30-6, but you would write down 30-6 if that was
right.
the answer.
I'm just at like. I forget.
Yeah, like if the answer was 223, you would write down 223.
Yeah. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili without an answer. Tressa says 308. Reva without an answer. Randall says 350 Legend. Cal says Bushmaster. Nate says 350 Legend. Brody says 350 Legend. They got it. The correct answer is 350 Legend.
So would you accepted 350 is what I was
No, I don't think
That's
so.
a bore diameter.
Yeah, because it's 350 Bushmaster too, right?
450.
Oh, it's 450.
I can
Bushmaster.
remember if it was 350 or 450 Legend.
The 350 Legend has more energy than a 30-30 Winchester and less recoil than a 243. Since its inception, the 350 Legend has become one of the most popular rounds for deer hunters in states that only allow straight-walled cartridges. To see how it stacks up against its predecessor, read Jordan Siller's article on the MeatEater.com called Caliber Battle, 30-30 Winchester versus 350 Legend. Here's a correct answer review so far. 1 was Virginia. 2, Pluto. 3, Render. 4, Guadalupe Mountains or Big Bend. 5, Chrysalis. 6, Mystery Tackle Box. 7, CJ Box. 8, Shepherd's Pie or Cottage Pie. Number 9, 350 Legend. Phil, give us a scoreboard update with one question to go.
Oh, man. I'd say it's still anybody's game. And by anybody, I mean Randall, Cal, or Nate.
It's a tiebreaker this up.
Randall
Gang.
and Cal are tied up with 5, and Nate pulled ahead. He's got 6 points in the lead.
One tie, we all tie. One tie, we all tie.
Question 10. The topic is wildlife. The National Audubon Society believes that sightings of this West Virginia cryptid are actually an owl. The room is stumped. Brody going to his whiteboard as well as Randall now.
Doesn't matter, but you know.
The National Audubon Society believes that sightings of this West Virginia cryptid are actually an owl. Nate, do you have any chance at getting this one right?
Got a chance.
Okay, do you have an answer?
But it's small.
Let me see your answer.
Brody
It's in
is.
my mind right now.
Can you tell us what a cryptid is?
No, I'm not going to tell you what a cryptid is unless another player would like to help you out, but I'm guessing they don't want to give any hints.
You already got your
Nate.
answer?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have this one right, Randall?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Brody, how do you feel about your answer?
I don't have very
Oh,
many
I'm
West Virginia
right.
cryptids in my.
Yeah.
In your Rolodex? Oh, Reva thinks she knows this one. The National Audubon Society believes that sightings of this West Virginia cryptid are actually an owl. We have Nate with a 1-point lead over Randall and Cal.
I have no idea.
And with a blank whiteboard for Nate, we are fixing to go to overtime. He said he has an answer, but it's in his mind so far. So we're gonna need that to wind up on the whiteboard pretty soon. Phil, would have you gotten this one right?
Yeah, I would have.
I knew you would.
And I know why.
Oh, I don't know why you would know that he would know why. So maybe you can tell us afterwards.
I will.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
If my
Phil,
answer's-
do you
if
know
my
why
answer's
Randall
correct-
knows why?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
excited to find out.
Cal, do you give up?
I wrote something down.
Okay, Nate,
Yeah.
do you good with your answer?
I know, but I have one.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili without an answer. Tressa says Yeti. Reva says Mothman. Randall, Mothman. Cal, Ivory-billed woodpecker. Nate, dragon. Brody, Mothman. The correct answer is Mothman, meaning Randall got it right, and him and Nate are going to overtime.
So the movie,
Mothman Prophecies. Yeah.
which was a fun movie.
A lot of fun.
What is cryptid?
That's like Bigfoot.
Like a chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Yeah, like a cryptozoologist studies animals that don't really exist.
Loch Ness.
Like that,
But a
exhibit.
cryptozoologist
Or like a
studies animals that did exist.
No.
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 A cryptozoologist studies animals that don't exist.
They probably
It's like a cryptogenic stroke is a
At
stroke
least
of an
as far
unknown
as we
cause.
know,
they're probably
they know
studying an animal that's real, thinking it's, oh, I got Bigfoot hair here, but it's actually from a domestic cat. That kind of thing.
It's like a mystery.
It's good job
I don't
security
think
there.
you can get a degree in cryptozoology.
Oh, there's guarantee
really?
there are like undergrad classes for it, but maybe not degrees.
I bet you could get it on a web browser and have a degree in cryptozoology. About 2
yeah,
hours.
because like every Loch Ness show has a cryptozoologist.
That's right.
Yeah.
or have a museum exhibit about it.
Yep.
There were more than 100 reported sightings of Mothman between November 1966 and December 1967 near Point Pleasant,
Take
West
those glasses.
Virginia. Witnesses described the winged creature as being tall and muscular with glowing red eyes. Some believe that seeing Mothman is a bad omen because of its connection to the Silver Bridge collapse in
I was gonna say the bridge.
1967. Locals reportedly saw the creature flying over the bridge before it fell into the Ohio River and killed 46 people. Now, Randall, why do you know that Phil knew the answer?
From the Mothman Prophecies. I
okay,
just
is
assumed that Phil is a fellow cinemaphile.
No, I was just into really like weird, spooky creatures when I was a
Because they
kid.
draw it a lot in that. The bridge disasters referenced in that film. And then I just remember laughing at the drawings.
Sure. They all
But I
have
don't
red
recall
eyes.
who starred in it.
We'll never know until we Google it after this. We're going to overtime. Play the drop,
I feel like
Phil.
if it was important to you, you'd look it up, Spencer.
That's that British dude.
I think just cut it at if you ain't first, you're last, and then like go into other stuff that's funny.
Oh, you
Phil's
know who it
gonna-
was? It was Richard Gere.
Yeah,
There you
Richard
go.
Gere.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Phil's
guy.
going to pull up the IMDb while we do the
And I always
overtime
get it confused
question
with the
here.
butterfly effect.
Ashton
You know,
Kutcher.
similar to,
yeah.
but that's Ethan Suplee, who's looking great these days
Oh, he is. He's trim.
at boxing.
The overtime topic is hunting, and this is a numerical question. So whoever is closest between Randall and Nate will be declared the winner, but the rest of the room is going to participate and come up with an answer because if somebody gets it right on the nose, MeatEater will add an extra $100 donation to the end of the game. Here's the tie-breaking question. How many states have a moose hunting season? How many states have a moose hunting season? Nate is openly okay. There he's hit his whiteboard. He was listing these states for all to see. Phil, have you seen the Mothman Chronicles?
The Mothman Prophecies? No, I have not. It was one of those. It was one of those movies that I'd see on a Blockbuster shelf, like in the early 2000s, and because it's got a very kind of striking box, and I would always wonder what that movie's about. Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. It's Richard Gere and Laura Linney. Laura Linney.
Oh, Jurassic Park. Dr. Ellie Sadler. That's a paleobotanist.
Is Laura Linney in Jurassic Park?
No, I always get her confused. She's in Congo.
Laura Dern.
Yeah, she's in the two Lauras, the blondes. Yeah, Laura Linney's in Congo.
Yeah.
How many states have a moose hunting season? Chili, you got an answer?
I do.
Okay. Tressa, Reva, you got answers? And if somebody gets it right on the nose, MeatEater is generous enough to make it a $600 donation instead of a $500 donation.
Little unknown fact about the donations that you are not aware of.
Okay.
So since we pay when the donation gets routed through my card, I get it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I get about.
I'm always glad that when
You're
I'm
racking
reminded
up
that
the miles.
that Chili has a
I hope my
company
credit
card.
score is just going through the roof right now. Company credit card, but I get about, I'd say, close to 100 letters a month from all these organizations that we don't like. It's like
thank you, Chili.
Yeah, it's like thank you for your contribution, Austin. I'm like, so I'm
so generous,
building bridges with a lot of people right now.
Randall, do you have an answer?
What's that?
I do.
Nate, do you have an answer?
I do.
Is everybody ready? Cal, are you ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Chili saying 7. Tressa says 3. Reva says 5. Cal says 10. Brody says 8. And our 2 players remaining, we have Nate saying 8. Randall saying 13.
8 is not correct.
One of you has it right on the nose, meaning this will be a $600 donation. The correct answer is 13, making Randall our winner. Did you have the right 13 as well? Here they are. The 13 states are Alaska, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Utah, Washington, Wyoming, and Nevada. Minnesota also has a moose hunting season that's only for tribal members, so they're counted.
Oh, yeah. I had
13.
Minnesota instead of Nevada.
Well, that was part of the 13.
Oh, I see. Where did I get it wrong then?
Doesn't matter. You had
I'm
13.
not concerned about it, Spencer. Thank you.
Well done, Dr. Randall.
Wow.
He had couldn't let Nate have his first.
Came back from some
victory.
serious adversity.
Oh God, best belated birthday present.
He
ever.
was a simple caterpillar who went into his chrysalis and became a butterfly.
Randall, where is the $600 donation from you and MeatEater going to go?
You know, I'm going to give it to the Montana Wild Sheep Foundation. They are currently working on a land acquisition project, and I got an email the other day that they had a certain target amount they're looking to raise. I believe it's some land outside of Anaconda, some lambing ground, and so I'd like it to go there and support that work.
I imagine that'll benefit more than just some sheep. Right?
Indeed.
$600 going there from Randall and MeatEater. I think that's a new group for us to donate to.
Fantastic.
Join us next week for more MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur rock hound.